Hey ladies, I'm doing a little pop-up video. It is Monday, it's about 1 o'clock here. I'm gonna be heading out soon to get more stuff for Thanksgiving dinner. I feel like I've gone shopping a million times, but the holiday kind of just made me think of some of the tips to kind of get through the holiday. We have Thanksgiving here in the US, and then we have Christmas and New Year's. So there's lots of time. There could be lots of sensitivity. It's already a time of year where people might feel a little bit depressed. Here, it's darker earlier, so that kind of bums a lot of people out. But then there's also the family, lots of family, kids running around and things like that. And kind of just dealing with your whole, TTC journey. So I wanted to just kind of give you a couple of things that you can use just to make things a little bit easier, during this time. So one of them is, I would think, try not to accept every invitation. Like if you're really stressed out, if you have a lot going on, especially if you're on meds. I mean, Lupron made me insane. So that wasn't something that I really wanted to be around a lot of people. It was very sensitive. So really choose wisely of where you spend your time, how much you spend time there, for hours and hours. So make sure that you are being mindful of yourself and how you're feeling. Be mindful, watch with your drinking and eating too. You want to be careful with how much you indulge. It'll just make, if you are indulging, it'll just make things easier if you're really mindful about those things. So who you spend time with. If you have relatives that you really lock horns with, which happens to a lot of people, not everybody will have some kind of crazy family, but I think if you can, make sure that you're spending quality and quantity time with the people that make you feel good. So being mindful of that. And again, spending, looking at how much time you're spending. If you need to call it an early night, then call it an early night and just take care of yourself. I think, then we come up with questions. So we have family members that are like, when are you going to have the baby? You guys have been married for so long. How come we're not having the baby? And things like that. And I think there's a couple of things. I think it's important for you to, determine how you're going to deal with that. So if you have just kind of some answers already set up and saying, okay, if Aunt Jenny asks me XYZ, what will we say to her? What will make you feel better? And there's two different things. You could kind of come up with some things, like, hey, as soon as we find out, we'll let you know. You can kind of take it a serious way. You can kind of take it a joking around way. I think because there's, seeing family, how they're always asking you questions, I think it might be easier sometimes, depending on who it is, to have an honest conversation with them instead of just kind of tiptoeing around it. Now, again, not everybody might be comfortable with that, but I think it's helpful so that you're not getting the same questions over and over again of when are you going to have the baby? When are you going to have a baby? Of telling them, saying, hey, taking some time and having a real heart-to-heart conversation of saying, hey, we're having a little bit of difficulty. It's not happening as easy as we thought it would. So we kind of had to get a little help maybe from some doctors or whatever. But, you mean so much to us, and it's our greatest gift, to be able to give you grandchildren or niece or whatever. And as soon as that, and as soon as we have good news, we'll share with you. But please, in the meantime, can you say some prayers, for us, or can you send us some good energy or some good thoughts? So I think if you take the time, it may be a little bit harder to do, but taking that little bit of time to have that kind of conversation can hopefully not have them ask again in 2 months of like, hey guys, what's going on? So see if that's something that, might resonate with you to do. I think it could save you a lot of time and a lot of heartache. And again, it's your personal choice. You don't have to answer those questions. But I think honesty in something that is so sensitive might be good depending on the person or who you're sharing with. So yeah, eating and drinking is a huge thing during this time. And we can kind of go crazy, especially if we're on a specific diet. If you're like going dairy free or gluten free, this is a time of year where sometimes we tend to cheat, and we can cheat a lot. And just kind of go crazy. So, again, try to eat mindfully. Think about what you're putting into your body. Understand that what you put in, works with how you feel. So, to avoid feeling sick or avoid having a reaction or, things like that, make sure that you're paying attention to what you're eating. Choose things wisely. Have a small bite of something. Enjoy yourself. But, be careful. Be mindful of overindulging, because it's really easy to do this time of year. And another thing, which kind of reminded me of Thanksgiving, I think it was 2 Thanksgivings ago, I was at the clinic having a frozen embryo transfer on Thanksgiving morning. Bad idea. I don't think that was a good idea. It's kind of how it fell, and I think we kind of knew even in advance of when we started doing all of that cycle, was that, yes, we might have a transfer on Thanksgiving. And I think it makes things just more hectic. This is already an insane time of year between cooking and family. More people are getting together, and things like that. And throwing, things like IUI cycles and IVF cycles in the mix, I don't think is always the greatest thing. Again, I think it might be more on a personal level, but it just compounds the whole time. It just compounds everything. We're already maybe high emotions, and this is just another thing. And so like I said, having that transfer on Thanksgiving morning, I look back now and I'm like, Nancy, I should have waited. But we know that it's hard to wait when we do this stuff. We kind of we want the baby now. And I totally get it, because I've been there. I've had 4 egg retrievals, 6 transfers back to back. So I totally understand the perspective of, just wanting that baby and wanting to do it. But when we rush, and that I always talk about divine timing and, and not wanting so bad, when we want something so bad, it just gets further away from us. So be mindful about the time, be mindful about the planning that you're doing. Is it the right time? Can it wait till the holidays are over? And it'll also give you extra time to just enjoy the holidays, instead of thinking like, okay, honey, we have to make sure that we get home so I get my injection and things like that. Make sure that we get my shots and so on. So I think, taking the time to take time off is a really great time of year, especially during this time of year, just to kind of chill out, just to enjoy yourselves, take care of yourselves, take care of your family, love yourselves, and just have a good time. Because there's, as soon as that's over, it's kind of back to I don't want to say back to real life, but it's back to real life again. So, taking the time to be, mindful about your planning and when you want to do things, especially if you're traveling. You don't want to travel and doing injections at the same time if you don't have to. So if you feel that you're rushed, if you feel you're doing it because, you're going into that cycle because of fear, because of saying, okay, I want this baby right now, I have to do this, then that's when it's time to take a breather and to actually step back. And you will see that it does you so much good to be able to do that. And it really puts you in a place of, I would say a place of power, but it just puts you in such a different place of saying, okay, you know what? I think let's take a break for now. Let's just enjoy ourselves. And then we'll start again, in January. And let's look ahead and make some plans. So that's my 2 cents on that. I hope some of these tips helped you. I can't see any comments right now for some reason. So if you're making any comments, I can't see them, but I will address them later. And if you have any tips to share for anybody, put them in the comments below. We've all been through this. So I totally get it. Right now we are, I'm working on planning our second IVF for baby number 2. And there's a whole list of things that I need to get done. And so I'm kind of kind of just taking things one at a time, instead of trying to get it all. There is something too about trying to get everything done by the end of the year. I don't know why. Maybe I do that to myself, but I'm like, okay, let's get it all done before the end of the year so that I'm fresh and ready. But that doesn't really help me. You know, I need to have different medical tests done. And so I'm just kind of taking my time and following my intuition and gut on how I feel about having those things done and when I'm getting them done. You know, and I'm still breastfeeding too, so I am waiting. I have to wait in order to get a mammogram. So there's so many things, and I'm trying to make sure that I'm being mindful too about what I need to get done, but also not stressing myself out about getting it all done at once, because I know if I do that, that's going to drive me crazy. So I'm just taking it, trying to be chill, concentrate on Thanksgiving dinner right now, because I have 1,000 recipes that I need to like put together and buy for. And yeah, I'm just going to enjoy each day and each moment for what it is right now. And there's always tomorrow and the next day after that to plan and do more stuff. So yeah, so that's it. I hope this helped you. If you're watching now, hey Carrie, I see that you're watching. I'll be done in a minute and you'll be able to watch from the beginning, or you could watch later. So yeah, I'll talk to you ladies soon. Bye.